One of the biggest factors in brewing great beer, in my opinion, is having temperature control. And if you don't have the ability to get a fermentation cabinet or an old fridge or something like that, then you might be using a cooler with ice in it and a recirculation system, or even a glycol chiller if you're fortunate enough to have one of those. Both of those scenarios do lend a couple of issues. One of them, the first thing, is condensation of the lines. So, as you're cooling or chilling, there's a lot of condensation that builds up on the lines. It drips on the floor all over the place. In my experience, I've had some issues where it even caused some mold on top of the fermenter. The other thing is, especially with cooler where you're doing ice or, swapping out jugs of ice or whatever, the efficiency may be affected by the lines actually being open to the ambient air. The other issue that I have with my glycol system is that whenever I disconnect whatever cooling system I'm using, whether it's, a coil or a jacket or whatever on the fermenter, then I have an issue where whenever I go to tip it up or take it out or whatever, the glycol there's still some glycol in there, and then that pours out either on me or on the floor. Or the other issue is that, with my glycol chiller, whenever you take a line loose and if you were to drop it for some reason, then it begins to siphon the glycol out of your glycol chiller. Now, I don't know if you've bought glycol, but this stuff is not cheap. I mean, I think it's about $25 a gallon. So you don't want to have that stuff draining out on your floor. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how I solve those issues. I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Into the AM. They are a premium t-shirt company, and they reached out to us about doing a video with them. You may have seen one of the other shirts in a previous video, the spaceman with the peace sign. This one here is Brain Invaders. They have some really cool t-shirts. They have like completely custom printed t-shirts, like with the entire shirt printed. They do have some bundle deals going on right now. 3 of their premium tees for $60 and 3 of their basic tees for $45. The URL that you use actually gave us is intotheam.com/short-circuited. So if you follow that URL, you'll get 10% at checkout on your entire order. The shirts really fit nicely. The fit and finish is great on them. I like the graphics are very durable. I've washed this a few times. It's holding up really well. As far as the fit goes, it's dead on size-wise. This is a 3X, and it fits me just perfectly. I've got a t-shirt on underneath this, and it still fits very comfortably. So definitely a good quality product in my opinion. So go check them out. Hit the link down below in the description. Thanks again to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. So let's talk about the connection first off. Now, most of the stuff that I use, or the chiller pumps that I use, have a 3/8 hose, and that's kind of the standard size for a lot of different chilling options. Some of the smaller chiller systems like the Anvil Foundry, those have a smaller tube, and I'll actually give you a couple of suggestions on that coming up in the video here. But for most of the lines that I use, it's a 3/8 size ID, 3/8 ID. So I actually found some connectors from freshwater systems, and I'll link all of the stuff that I'm talking about in this description down below. So if you want to go pick it up, I really had a hard time trying to figure out what to get because I wanted a quick connection that was easy to take apart, but then I also wanted it to have the auto stop feature. So basically what that means is that it has a valve inside of the connector so that when you unhook it, it stops the flow. And I wanted it on both sides, not just the fermenter chilling coil side, but also the glycol side, so that I didn't have a siphon or dumping out on either side. So I actually found the correct connector, and I found the cheapest option for that was getting the dual connector where they actually both are built into the same connector. And they're very simple operation. You just snap them together. There is an orientation pin on there, but you just snap them together. And when you pull them apart or, hit the quick release, then it stops the flow of liquid and you've got no liquid anywhere. Basically, there might be just a little tiny bitty drip on either side. Now, as far as the insulation goes, I had some trouble finding the proper insulation, or at least what I wanted to use at Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, at my Home Depot or Lowe's or any of the big box stores around here, they do have the insulation that's more of a harder, thicker insulation, but I wanted more of the PVC foam that's actually like a closed cell and it's very flexible. And you do find this on some kits, but that's kind of amazing to me that most of the manufacturers that put out cooling kits don't have any kind of insulation for the hoses. So I actually found on McMaster Carr 1/8" ID PVC flexible foam. And the nice thing about this, it does provide plenty of room to be able to slide the 3/8 hoses through, and it also provides insulation so you're not having all that condensation. So what I do basically is I'll make up a pigtail, if you will, for the fermenter, and I'll put the connections, whatever the connections are, to the cooling coil on the fermenter, and then I'll cut the length, probably, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 12 inches long, so that it's not a big long thing hanging off of the cooling coil whenever you take it in and out of the fermenter. I'll actually squeeze the insulation back, install the double connector on the end of the hoses, and then put your hose clamps on there. You definitely want to put hose clamps on there. You don't want this stuff, you know, coming apart while you're doing your chilling. So once I do that, then this 1/8" actually fits perfectly over the connectors that I found. You slide it all the way up to the end of the connector, and then basically that's all you need to do for your coil side. And then I just do basically the same thing for whether I'm using, you know, a cooler with ice or whatever in it, or if I'm using my glycol chiller. I'll basically measure everything out, put the foam on, you know, cut the foam a little bit long so that whenever I squeeze it back and put the connector on there, I can slide it back up over the connector. And so have a very little amount of actual connection that's open to the ambient air that could possibly sweat. So that's how I solved that issue. You know, hopefully you guys found that helpful. Now for the Anvil folks with the bucket fermenters or the Crucible, I actually found some reducer hose barbs on Amazon, and these things work perfectly. I've used them. Basically it's like I think an 1/8 inch on one side and 3/8 on the other. I'll put a link in the description for those as well if you guys are interested, because, you know, the cooling kit that comes with the Anvil Crucible or Foundry has an 1/8 inch line for the pump and all that stuff. But if you're using it with a glycol chiller or something like that, you're more than likely going to be using a 3/8 line. So I'll link that stuff up for you guys down below. And hopefully you found this video. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to visit the sponsor, Into the AM. Link in the description down below. This has been Brian for Short Circuited Brewers. We'll see you on the next video.